Now to the latest on a massive storm threatening parts of the U.S. East Coast. This is a live look this morning at Virginia Beach, feeling the impact of Hurricane Erin. The storm battering the banks of several states, packing strong winds and massive waves causing flooding. The storm caused threatening surges under beachfront homes and flooded parts of a main highway. It's now slowly moving away from the East Coast. Forecasters predict Erin will peak sometime today, but could regain strength and become a major hurricane. The storm is not expected to make landfall along the East Coast before turning further out to sea. CTV's Scott Hurst is joining us now with more. So it's interesting, Scott, to see and hear about this storm. Not expected to make landfall, but boy, it's still going to be felt in a big way.
Yeah, and that's what's different about this track compared to other storms that threaten the U.S. East Coast a lot. It's not expected to make landfall anywhere, but that doesn't mean it's not packing a punch, as you saw from that video. And Marcia, as you've already described, some of the damage caused from this Category 2 hurricane. So it doesn't mean it's to be taken lightly by any within its path of this wide-reaching storm. Now, this hurricane is huge. Its tropical storm force winds are extending more than 500 kilometers from its center. So this is still a Category 2 storm. And look at, here's the size that I'm just describing right now. So it's still a Category 2 storm, meaning extremely dangerous winds can cause extensive damage. And that's what's been felt along the U.S. East Coast, particularly North Carolina, where waves were tracked reaching some 20 feet high earlier this morning, not far from the state's Outer Banks. And according to the U.S. National Hurricane Center, many U.S. East Coast beaches have warnings up and down the coast due to life-threatening surf and rip currents. Now, as you mentioned, the hurricane is forecast to keep its strength through this afternoon before losing some steam and moving farther north and east and really wrapping around the southern tip, Marcia, of the Atlantic provinces.
Well, yeah, let's talk a bit more about that. What's in the forecast?
Well, here's something that I don't know if I've ever particularly reported on, where wildfire officials in the Maritimes are, of course, closely watching wildfires, but they're also tracking a hurricane. And so that is quite a unique juxtaposition here, where these wildfire officials in Nova Scotia particularly are still monitoring a few wildfires, particularly the still out-of-control Long Lake fire in the West Dalhousie area, which is more than 32 square kilometers and still burning out of control. But this storm, of course, being watched by wildfire officials because gale-force winds are possible along the coast of Nova Scotia on Friday and then the Avalon Peninsula of Newfoundland on Saturday. So residents along the East Coast, who are no strangers to hurricanes, just like many in the U.S., will not see this hurricane make landfall, but these strong winds, of course, could make it could fan the flames and, of course, make conditions worse for crews trying to battle those wildfires and potentially even make conditions more dangerous for those wildfire crews who, of course, now have to track a hurricane as well, Marcia.
All right, Scott, keep us posted. Thanks so much.